How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Legendary Loot News. In today's loot chest, we've got a brand new game that was just announced yesterday during the Nacon live game event. This game is called Steelrising. Steelrising is being developed by Spiders, the same team behind the 17th century styled fantasy RPG Greedfall that was met with positive reviews on its release last year. Steelrising is Spiders' next game, and this time it's an action RPG, so you know why we're talking about it, because as we all know, action RPGs have loot, and loot is why we're here. If you are a fan of RPGs, action RPGs, or any game that has loot in it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, as that is literally why this channel exists, to showcase and talk about the loot in games. So, let's open up today's loot chest, hope it's not a mimic, and talk about Steelrising. Stay a while and listen. I've got the trailer running for you in the background, and while we don't get to see much, it does give us a glimpse at the visual style of the game. It's very unique, especially for an action RPG. In Steelrising, you play as Aegis, a robot in female form and a bodyguard of Queen Marie Antoinette, tasked with taking down King Louis XVI and his army of automatas. The game is set in Paris during the 18th century, so it looks like Spiders decided to stick with an older time period, much like they did with the Greedfall in the 17th century. You can definitely tell by looking at the trailer and the robots, as they all have an old English steampunky vibe to them, and it looks super cool. I'm totally down with it. Just the art of everything looks very spooky, but also mystical in a way that's kind of hard to explain. As far as gameplay in Steelrising goes, the president of Spiders gave us some information on what to expect. We know that it is an action RPG and that the game focuses a lot on action and combat more so than their other titles in the past have, and that exploration is a key part of the game. The example that was given was finding a secret passage that leads to a new location. The environments in Steelrising also have verticality, so you won't always be on ground level, which adds to the exploration and immersion of the brand new universe they've built for this game, compelling you to explore more and more of the world. As far as loot goes, Aegis, the character we play as, has weapons integrated into her body, and when you find different items throughout the game, you can choose to use those items to enhance her power, her mobility, or her durability, which I'm assuming is something akin to damage, dodge, and health, like in other games. You can find many weapons throughout the game, of which there are 7 different families. The ones that were mentioned are arm weapons for light combat, alchemical rifles, and much heavier weapons, I'd assume two-handers, with each weapon you find having unique characteristics. There are also tons of side quests in Steelrising that build upon the world, story, and characters. These side quests award you with unique items and gear, which pretty much confirms that we'll see gear slots for armor as well, which you would assume anyways since this is an action RPG, but you never know. Loot, gear, unique items, 7 weapon families, side quests, it sounds a lot like the loot games we all love. I'm very excited to see more about this game whenever we get more info. The complete sidestep away from the typical action RPG style is what I'm most excited for. We're not fighting demons or goblins or angels or zombies, it's robots, and not only that, it's robots in the 18th century. Like, that's so strange, but I'm totally down for it. We've been looting giant flaming swords for so long, this crazy unique art style and game direction will be a breath of fresh air for the action RPG genre, and I can't wait to loot some wicked weird weapons and gear that you wouldn't find in any other game. That's what I take from this announcement, at least. Steelrising seems to be a breath of fresh air for this genre, and I hope it delivers well and is successful, much like Greedfall was. If anything, the devs have definitely proved that they can make a good RPG. Let's see how they do with an action RPG. That's all the info we have currently on Steelrising. It will be releasing on PC and next-gen consoles, and I'll link their official website, Steam page, and Twitter down in the description below if you want to check them out and give them a follow. I'll also link the trailer and the Nacon livestream event that I referenced in this video. Now, I know we haven't seen anything in terms of gameplay, but let me know how you feel about an 18th century robot-filled action RPG. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it or found any informative value in it, give it a like as it helps get the video out to more people, and subscribe for more epic loot news on Steelrising. Once we get more news or actual gameplay, I'll definitely be talking about it here, so stay tuned. Also follow me on Twitter for more game news that doesn't quite make it into videos, and for other game shenanigans and discussions. This has been your daily dose of legendary loot news, and I hope you have a legendary day.